My name is Luis Vega. I'm a teacher of Aštanga yoga. And this is my philosophy behind my teaching. The meaning of the word yoga is union. Union between our physical world and our spiritual world. Yoga was originally created as a meditation tool, something for our mind, our soul, and our body. The practice of Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga was discovered in 1900, and when it came to Europe and America in the 70s and 80s, students started to question why the series was so methodical and why you should follow in that particular order. And they start changing the series. There are many reasons why students change the series. One of them is that they don't know why they shouldn't change. But more often, practitioners avoid asanas that are either too easy or too challenging, or they find the practice too repetitive. If you change the series, then it becomes something different from Ashtanga. So you have to change the name of the practice. Nowadays, there are many types of dynamic yoga which are based on Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. The main difference between them and Ashtanga is that there is not a memorized sequence anymore. And without this, there is no emphasis on the meditation side of the practice. It turns to asana practice. In my opinion, some of these modern dynamic styles of yoga have lost their connection to the meditation and the spiritual side of the practice by placing too much emphasis on the asana, physical part, which is just one of the 8 limbs of yoga. The biggest challenge in the practice of yoga is to be present. And if you are present, even if you do the same thing 10 times, every time should feel unique, so there is never repetition. Practicing yoga as a meditation rather than a physical exercise allows you to become present in the moment. There are a number of things which, when they are combined, will make the experience meditative. The first thing, a sequence of asanas that you can learn to memorize, so there is no concern about what posture comes next, as it will come naturally. Then a breath which connects every single movement, every single moment into that sequence in a precise kind of way. And then the drishti, which is the focus point, literally the point of your gaze. And finally bandhas, the energy locks, which should be engaged throughout the practice. When you bring all those 4 elements together, you're practicing a meditative yoga. And you'll find it takes you to a different place. Within the philosophy of yoga, there's a relation to the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Some students and practitioners believe that yoga was created to try to get us out of that cycle of repetition, to the point that when we die, we would go to heaven or nirvana. I believe our souls evolve by experiencing different challenges in different lives, allowing us to grow spiritually. Yoga is a tool which can be used to bring clarity and a better sense of purpose and direction in this life. If you imagine the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, on the section of life on that cycle, We all go through pretty much the same process. We are all born in a particular time. We live our lives through a series of challenges and moments, and eventually we will come to the end. But every challenge that we go through in life helps to build our character. It gives us experience in life. It gives and change directions in life. It makes us who we are. And if you look back in our past, especially the difficult moments we have been through in life, you see that there were consequences to those moments. They led to something else. So all of those turns or directions that we go through in life, they were caused by those challenges. These are all part of our path towards our destiny. So eventually, if you understand that a challenge is something that is necessary for our development as human beings, a challenge will lose its negativity, and you learn how to embrace a challenge for what it is, and you learn how to see beyond the challenge. Sometimes the outcome of a challenge is not necessarily what we want, but is exactly what we need. And time always tells. Thanks to your past, you find yourself where you are now. I believe that the practice of Ashtanga Yoga is a reflection of life. If you look at the first asana of the series, Tadasana, it represents you being born or appearing in the planet. The next few asanas after that represents the next few challenges you had in your life. As you get older, it gets more intense. And at the very end, Shavasana, which translates to the corpse pose, represents the end of life. If you can interpret the practice in this way, Ashtanga Yoga will teach you how to flow during each of those challenges without allowing you to pick what you like or avoiding the ones you don't like. It teaches you how to be present, how to practice with intention, and how to be happy with what you can do, regardless of you losing your balance and falling, or being able to bind in a particular asana. Because Ashtanga Yoga is not about that. Ashtanga Yoga is about how you approach your practice with intention, acceptance, presence, and love.
For more information about Luis's teaching schedules, including his workshops, private classes, and remote classes via Skype, please get in touch via the website luisvegayoga.com.
Welcome to video 4. Today we are going to be stepping it up a little bit again. And in this video, in this particular practice, we're going to be using more core and a little bit more of our body strength as well. In yoga, you're always working to find balance between strength and flexibility. If you're really, really strong, you can actually use your strength to create flexibility and vice versa. If you're very flexible, you need to start to harness that strength so that you're, balanced. Yoga equals balance, always the underlying goal. Starting with our breathing exercise, we're going to do a breathing exercise that comes from the moksha discipline. Interlace your 10 fingers, palms facing downward. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head, look at your palms. Bring your palms flat together, and on your exhale, draw the breath into the belly, your palms down towards the floor again. Inhale, arms come up. Palms together, exhale, draw the breath down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. leaving your day behind you. Inhale. Coming onto your mat, exhale. Inhale. And exhale. The breathing really aligns us with what we're about to do. Connecting ourselves with the breath, but also to the body, to what's going on inside. Inhale, a couple more. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, last time. Inhale. And exhale. Arms should be nice and warmed up by now. Moving into our first downward dog. Inhale. Flat back all the way down. Exhale. Fold. Now in the other videos we stepped to the back of our mat. You can do that again, or if you want to try, a gentle hop. Hold. Holding in your first plank. Hold it here. Now you can stay here, or if you feel up for it, lift your right leg. Hold. Right foot can stay on the floor, knees can even stay on the floor. Good. Lower your right foot, push back, take a breath here. We're going to repeat that on the other side. Come forward, shoulders over the wrists, palms grounded and flat. Hold. You can stay here, you can come to your knees, or left leg up, hold, breathe. Try not to sag, core engaged, palms down, arms are strong to support the pose. Left foot down, exhale, push back into your downward dog, take a breath here. I'm going to do a little bit more core work. Come forward. This time bring your right knee in towards your chest, even towards your forehead if you can. Otherwise, staying in one of those variations. Push back or release back, other side. And back, hold. Slowly lower onto your knees or all the way down to your belly. Little gentle back bend. Exhale, push back. Let's do 3 more flowing vinyasas. So inhale to come forward, exhale down. You can stay on your toes, tops of the feet, the floor, and then exhale, coming back again. Inhale, come forward, exhale onto the belly if you need to, come up, and then curl the toes, try to push back. Downward dog. Heels can be off the floor if they need to be. No problem. Now again, stepping to the top of your mat, or option 2, a little bit of a hop. Look forward on your inhale, fold on the exhale. Knees can be bent if they need to be. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, and lower your arms down. Moving into a balancing posture. This is called balancing stick. Shift the weight to your left foot. Lift your right foot up off the floor. Keeping your hips square, just start to tilt until your body's parallel, or as far as you can. Just do to wherever you can today. It'll always keep changing. If you lose the balance, no problem. Try the other side. Ground through the right foot. Try not to let the hips turn out. So keep your hips square. Your standing glute muscle is really going to be the muscle that's supporting the posture. Arms can be to the side, they can be behind you, they can be out in front of you, they can even be on your hips. Down. 3 breaths. And then slowly come back, standing with your feet together. Facing the front of your mat again. Tree pose, as we did in the previous video, a little bit deeper this time. Lift your right foot up. Grab your right foot from underneath with your left hand. Sole of the foot faces the ceiling. You may only be able to get your knee or your foot this far up your leg. If you can, you might even be able to bring it to your groin. Feel that out. Make sure your knee doesn't complain at all. Eventually what we're doing is we're bringing this knee down and back, and we're pushing our hips forward to really open our hips. If you need to, the foot can be down here. In this case, I would recommend holding your foot and then just gently working to open this up. So going to your current depth, finding your breath, hips are forward, spine is long, breath is deep, slow, and calm. Moving on to the other side, release the right foot down. Grab your left foot from underneath with your right hand. If there's some tension through the knee or the ankle, you can just hold your foot, gently work on bringing your knee back, gently work on opening this ankle. If it's comfortable for you, the foot can come all the way up for a deeper expression. Knee down and back, hips forward, spine long, again, balance and breathe. Always when you're standing on one leg, you're grounded through your foundation, so through your leg, through the sole of your foot. And then, again, release.